Child, what is going on, y'all? Hold on. I am putting on listed. Hold on, y'all. Because I am running behind. Okay. Happy Thursday to everybody. Happy Thursday. Happy Friday Eve. Y'all, is it a full moon? Okay. Is one of the alignments in retrograde? I don't know what's going on, what is happening. If things is going crazy, okay? I was like, yeah, I can probably take a little rest today because I'm sure, it can't be no explosive story that can't wait till Friday evening. And lo and behold, we have to have a whole conversation about a lawsuit because Diddy, because y'all know certain things we can't say. Y'all know what it is. Y'all didn't see the blogs and what they said. Cassie filed a whole $30 million lawsuit, and we gonna get into the full complaint, okay? Because y'all know we have to have the information in order to have the conversation. Okay. Now I'm tired. I had a long day where I was like, well, I can go home and chill out. I can watch Picard on Paramount Plus. I can probably watch Kingdom Come on BT Plus and just chillax. Okay. I wore my Grace Sloan Memorial Hospital shirt to work. I need some rest and relaxation. Okay, this is the day off work, so I wore my Grace Long because it was gonna be some rest. And lo and behold, my Grace Long Grey's Anatomy Memorial. I was like, oh, we need the hospital because people around here tripping. Okay, I said, Jesus, Mary, Joseph, get round here. Okay, child. Now look. How y'all doing? Y'all know sometimes I gotta come in different when it's something different. and this is something different. Now I put a little snippet, you know what I'm saying, because I was on IG Live earlier today, and so I because some folks say I don't have no IG. I said, well, I'll put this IG Live on the YouTube to let y'all know I'm be live tonight, and we gonna discuss what it is to be discussed. Okay, but y'all also know that's last. That's last. Okay, but I want to read through the whole, because when I first heard it was 35 pages. The complaint that Cassie filed against that man is 35 pages. Initially, I was like, oh, I got 35. That's so, but it reads. It reads. So we're gonna have a little, late night snitching session type of thing. I'm gonna read it and we're gonna all be informed together. Okay. So anybody who's watching this video, we all know what Cassie has accused Diddy of. We do not have to say it so that Jaylee don't get flagged. You know what I'm saying? We're going to read through the complaint and what she said he did and be all in the know, okay? But before we get into that, there's a couple other things we can talk about too, okay? Because y'all know we have to have a grand finale and some precursors to the food lynch in this, okay? But y'all, hey, can y'all do me a favor? Have y'all subscribed? Make sure to please subscribe to my channel. Become a JayBirds, okay? Y'all know to also like the video, comments in the comment section, share the video too, and follow me on social media at JayLeesCorner on IG, Twitter, and TikTok. Okay, I said they coming in hot on a Thursday, and I don't know why. And I come on, and we here. Okay, we here. Hey, how y'all doing? How is everyone doing? Okay, look, we're gonna get into the things that's here to get into. I do not know how long we're gonna be, okay, but we're gonna be here. And thank y'all for being here, because you can be anywhere in the world, but you are here with me today. Okay, and I appreciate it, because I was like, what is on us? Oh, I can't believe it. It's like 2023. I'm like, what's next? What's next? I mean, look, can Barack Obama run for president? I need some goodness to happen. I need some. Can we get like $5,000 stimulus checks? Like, can we get something that's good? Okay, jam packed. I said, because we just have to discuss things that have to be discussed, and then we have to be sure that we have a whole conversation about it, because y'all know what happens. Sometimes people, because we can't go by just the headline. We can't go by just the headline, because sometimes when we going by just the headline, and we do not really know what's going on, and then we come to find out what was going on. Look, I did. I promise y'all, I was like, I'm not going live today. Not doing it. I hadn't even been on IG. And then I went and got me some ice water, came back to my desk at work, and then scrolled IG. And I was like, Diddy, 30, what? I was like, God damn it. Now I have to be around here, okay? It's like, and I feel like, because I'm a 41-year-old woman, okay? I am old enough to, I remember Diddy with the teeth that was a little bit pushed out. I remember, pleather leather wearing Diddy. I remember the Source Awards. I remember when Diddy got along with all his artists, So, the fact that a whole bunch has happened and a whole bunch has, transpired over the years. Yep, 35 pages, okay? 30 whole 5. And I was like, 35, 1, 2, 3. But some of the stuff I can skip over, because some of the stuff is like, different. But because a lot of it is like, it reads her exact allegations, how they met, how it went from it's all of that. And I feel like I owe it to y'all for us to have that conversation, okay? But we're gonna get into, okay, hi to all the people. Hi to all the people. Okay, thing is, this is what I'm saying, because we have to, I'm saying, because this is this is my thing. Come on now, Widow's Peak. You know, in my opinion, you know, we YouTubers, everybody, you know, covers their stuff differently. Everybody has their own way of, you know, covering news and this and that. Some folk, you know, do this and some folk do that. But me, I need a deep dive. I need to deep dive because it's nothing worse than being ill-informed. And, you know, my motto is if there's information that you can see and read to get the truth, then get to the truth. And that way, when y'all go about, you know, y'all lives and on social media and everything, and y'all have y'all opinions, y'all can say, because I read the thing with Jaylee. You know? Because sometimes the headline is just to catch attention. It's just to catch attention. And you have to know sometimes the headline ain't the story. I tell you all the time, the details is beyond the headline. Okay. Thank you for becoming a member, Lisa East. Thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate you. Yeah. Okay. But I want to get to the couple other things. And yeah, I was saving so much stuff because when the news came out, a flood of just stuff. People co-signing it, people, you know, sending Cassie well wishes, who makes us feel like they knew something was going on or whatever. And it was just so much happening. I'm at work. I couldn't even play. Girl, I said, girl, to save. Okay. But the main thing I want to be sure is that we actually, you know, read what she's accusing him of. We can know what the actual accusation is. So that way we are all aware of what not to like about Diddy. Okay. We can all know, hey, we don't like that and we don't like this, and it gets on our damn nerves. Okay. But let's get into some other little news first. Okay. And then we're going to get to Diddy. Okay. So congrats to Lala Anthony. Okay. Lala Anthony has opened a center for young men who have been recently released from prison. I said, well, that's a good thing. Okay, now we always say Lala, because y'all know I always say Lala gets in her fashion a fake Kim Kardashian. But again, anybody trying to open up centers and open up places, open up anything to help people who was around there in the prisons, and now they're out the prisons, and now they need help. You know what I'm saying? They need prison reform. Because sometimes getting out, you don't know what to do. Okay, and I also don't want to always focus on messy things. We have to also celebrate good things that the famous people be doing. And congrats to Lala for opening up it. Okay, it's called 360, a program dedicated to helping young men between the ages of 18 to 25 to get back on their feet after being incarcerated. So again, you know, we don't know what else Lala got going on. Okay, I think that was good. So congrats to Lala. Okay, let's move on because I want to get this up. Okay, also happy birthday. Now, first of all, can I even show this? I think I can because she's closed. Now, y'all remember Dina Howard? You know, a freak like me, Dina Howard. I can be a freak until the dawn. And we can pop. You know, say that song, whatever. She turned 50. Okay, so happy birthday to Adina Howard. Happy 50th birthday. You know, to Adina. Now, first of all, I said she looks great for 50. You know what I'm saying? She looks absolutely wonderful. Okay. I feel like I don't hear much about her or whatever, but I loved her song back in the day. But happy birthday. Happy 50th. Okay. So she looks great. Okay, but we've said before, 50 is 50 now is like 40 or like 30, you know. So we not seeing people who are 50, they look like our grandmama's friends, you know what I'm saying, or our great aunt's friends, you know what I'm saying. They looking like, you know, regular people who look good, you know, and that's what it's supposed to be. Now, I seen this and I said, now what the hell? FedEx. Now we had this watch the other day how an Amazon truck got ransacked. I believe that was in Atlanta. Now this one says dozens ransacked a FedEx truck, packages in the middle of South Memphis. Okay. Now I said, now what is wrong with y'all? It is y'all on the freeway stealing from a full FedEx truck. It's insane. Okay. This is my thing. I'm also saying this though. You might get more from a FedEx truck than you would an Amazon truck. But I can't imagine just running around and just like, you know what, we go in traffic, okay, let's all go ransack this, like, because like those are random people. Like I can see, like if a gang of people who was together at the house and say, hey, let's all get together and let's all go together to get this truck. Okay, that's one thing. But I feel like if you are just random cars on the freeway, on the streets, in the middle, how did y'all get in it? What happened? I hope they all go to jail. I don't want to go to jail, y'all. So I can't see myself risking my life for whatever is in the FedEx truck. But my thing is that it could be some fucking hangers. I got hangers in my closet right now that I got from Walmart that would deliver from FedEx that I ain't even used yet because I ain't got no room. It's weird how they risking jail time. What if these drivers or whoever start packing heat and they pile people because you want to steal somebody's pantyhose that they ordered and deliver FedEx? Now, good stuff also comes from FedEx. You know what I'm saying? Good stuff that has to be signed for, but it ain't worth it. Okay, I just need people to stop it. Oh, wait. Because I didn't read the thing. They blocked them in and forced it open. But what is it? Is they pirates? Took place Monday evening around 8:30 p.m. Footage showed the truck blocked by other vehicles. Dozens broke the lock on the back of also. First of all, that is a RICO charge. Okay, that is crazy. That is an organization. That is organized crime. People stupid. And I don't know why they stupid. Y'all, I hope, look, if you know somebody that's robbing the Amazon truck, that's robbing the FedEx truck, tell them to quit it. Tell them to stop it. Ain't no reason for that. Besides stupidity, okay? Y'all, Snoop Dogg said he giving up smoking. And I said, Snoop Dogg? Snoop? He, after much consideration and after much consideration and conversation with my family, I decided to give up smoke. Please respect my privacy at this time, Snoop Dogg. Now, is smoke his dog? Because Snoop Dogg been smoking forever. And he don't like it is one thing, like because I don't, I'm not a ganja smoker at all. But when I see people who do smoke weed, who consistently smoke it, meaning you smoke a blunt, you roll a blunt, you smoke another one and another one. I'm like, are you ever high? So I do wonder what will his system do if it's no longer getting the chronic. So, I mean, he probably going to be real cranky. And, I feel like you also, like, you didn't have to tell us this, like, just stop smoking. Just cut it out. Just leave it be. I'm like, does Snoop Dogg really want to stop? Girl, I don't believe him. I don't. I will believe it when I see it. When I see that man and he like, you know what? I've given up smoking. I'm not smoking anymore. I'm gonna leave it be. I don't want it in me no more. I say, okay. Now, when he say he gonna quit smoking, we then had Meek Mill who came around talking about he gonna do it too. He said, I'm gonna go to Dubai and completely stop smoking. Why you gotta go to Dubai? You can't stop smoking where you live at. Like, Why go to a whole different country to stop doing something you can stop doing here? Okay, anyway, I'm going to Dubai and completely stop smoking. I'm going to follow Snoop. My doctor said I got a little emphysema, girl, in the chest. If I don't stop smoking, it cuts my life in half. I was addicted to nicotine, and this new weed got too many chemicals and too risky to play with my mental. Now, I will say this, because y'all know, y'all either do or don't know. I used to smoke cigarettes. I smoked for 10 years, from when I was 17 till I was around 27. And so I smoked Newports, okay? And I quit. I was very cranky when I quit, but I quit, and it's been great. So I understand, you want to quit smoking. I also know back in the day when I used to partake and was around people who did smoke weed, the weed was real regular. It wasn't crappy weed. It was regular weed, okay? And I feel like some of this new weed, it be different colors. I don't want no blue weed. I don't want no blue weed. No, ma'am. No, sir. No, thank you. And so when I see people with this extra special kind of weed that I'm like, where did it come from? Who did it and why? I don't want it. I don't want no weed that's gonna make me question, is it real? Is this real weed? Like, I need to know what it is, okay? It need to be regular green, smell regular. I don't want it to smell like cupcakes, like chocolate. I don't want no edibles, nothing, okay? However, hopefully Meek Mill will stop smoking too. He will follow suit as Snoop Dogg did. They'll both be smoke free, okay? And that'll be what it is. But I'm like, look, weed is addictive. Because if Snoop been smoking his whole life, every day of all the days, I feel like that is proof of the matter that weed is addictive. Okay, I'm trying to skim because it's all this Diddy stuff. Okay, I'm trying to skim on through to be sure that we can get to the things. Okay, Andre of the 3 of 1,000. Okay, now first of all, if you do not know who 3 Stacks is, Andre 3000. Okay, he's a legend in my head, and we have been wanting new music, but he has a new album coming out tomorrow. Okay, it's him playing the flute. He's not rapping. It's him playing the flute, and I can't wait. Now, first of all, Andre 3000 still look 18, just with gray hair. He ain't really aged that much or whatever. But he did like a little interview with GQ, and when he said, people feel like I have like bars that's sitting around somewhere in a studio just waiting to come out. Like, I ain't got no extra bars. Okay, I'm 48 years old. What I'm gonna rap about? I gotta get a colonoscopy. My eyesight ain't that good. I love the fact that he was like, I don't have nothing to rap about. And to me, that means not everyone wants to be a 50-year-old rapper. And each time he's put out something, I feel like it's always been an evolution, because how he was in Outkast, how he was on the Love Below and Speaker Box, it's all been an elevation. And then him just kind of sitting and chilling or whatever and learning the flute. It's elevation. And we forget there are songs that we hear the music and that's it for us. We don't need to hear no words. So I'm happy that he is still evolving as an artist and as a musician and as a rapper, because my thing is, you can put words into the instruments and let that be what it is. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't need to do music. You know what I'm saying? I'm 48 years old. I'm around here chilling out. Leave me be, bitch. Now, I would not have minded that he did like another movie, because I loved him in movies. If y'all, every movie he's been in, I've loved. Okay, from Four Brothers to Idlewild to, was it called Too Cool or Be Cool, with him and Cedric the Entertainer, and I think Vince Vaughn was in it. He's a great actor too. So he's been in stuff too. So, but he just went and he sat down, he played his flute. So I can't wait. So when him was like, Andre album come out tomorrow, I'm like, I've never anticipated somebody playing the flute. He was like, he got mad, like, what you, that's easy. And I'm like, no, I mean, because I'm literally anticipating him to play the flute. You know what I'm saying? He thought I was dissing. I'm like, I'm not dissing him. I'm waiting for the music, okay? But it's great. I can't wait to hear what he do. I feel like it's going to be relaxing because he seems like a relaxing individual. You know what I'm saying? And anybody who can just, she lives in my life. Oh, she lives in my life. Come on now. Anyway, Beyonce. They said that Beyonce will have a residency in Vegas. Now, it is just a speculation. It is just a rumor. However, I feel like with her Renaissance tour, it makes sense. I feel like Beyonce is at a stage in her. Beyonce has been out. I'm 41 for 20 fucking years. 20 years. And to me, I feel like she has enough music, enough artistry to where she should do a residency. She has so many songs that she can admit, and each week could be a different rotation of songs. You know what I'm saying? The same with her, it can be really, 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 really good. It's also if her still put her music out, and do, and tour without having to tour. Tour without having to tour. And I love it. Her requesting 10 mil, I think that's fine. I know that the New Edition has a short residency coming up. I think it's like maybe 6 shows or something like that. But I feel like this would be great. I think some artists has earned the right to sit down somewhere and chill out. Still do their music, still do what they want to do, but just not have to deal with the craziness of touring. So, if it's true, everyone's going to go. If it's true, everyone will be there. If it's true, tickets will be extremely expensive, and we know that. So get your pockets ready. Get your pockets ready. Okay. We also know that the movie coming up in a couple weeks. Can't wait to see that. But Beyonce around here, like, y'all, I'm getting to the back. Okay. What I want to do next? Do we want to do Cardi B? Speaking up for Will of the Smiths. Okay. So, I don't want to get into all the other foolishness, because reading the Diddy thing is gonna take a while, and I do not want to be here more than 2 hours. Where is it? Yeah, let's do them. Okay, so Cardi B was around here on her little live and everything, and she was speaking about how she felt like, one, I feel like she was definitely coming for Tasha K, because that's who interviewed the person who came after Will Smith. And when Cardi was like, I'm tired of this shit. I'm tired of these claims and these things against Will Smith. It does not make any sense. It gets on my nerves. And y'all can kiss my butt. Okay. So this what Cardi had to say, because again, the dude that said that Will Dwayne did things was on Tasha K's platform. And y'all know she was already, I'm so sorry and I'm going to be different and blah, 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 blah. Okay, let's hear Cardi.
I don't like shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't like how I got fooled a couple of weeks ago. Was it a couple of weeks ago? I don't know. My time has been fucked up. I don't like how I was fooled a couple of weeks ago. Some people just never change. Never, never, never change. And you want to know something? I don't like that shit. I don't like what people be doing to Will Smith. I be fine.
Now, her son, I got fooled, because we know for a fact that Tasha K was on live, upset, crying, claiming that she was going to be different, change, not be messy, and blah, 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 blah. How she was apologizing to Cardi B and all these things. And so Cardi's point could be, in my opinion, that Tasha K said all that stuff just to seem like she changed. And then a couple weeks later, here she is on social media interviewing somebody who was coming for Will Smith and making up salacious stories that cannot be proven to be fact. So I think that's her point in saying, I'm tired of folks saying playing me and lying.
Like Will Smith is very unproblematic. I feel like he got like a nice heart. And that's the thing. I found out that Will Smith is a Libra. I always said this. Like Libras, we be getting tried. And then when we outburst so fucking heavy that we become the ones in the wrong. Because when we throw that outburst after we get so much, we go so crazy that people be like, oh my God, what the fuck? Oh, this bitch is really crazy. Oh, this nigga is fucking crazy for real. And I feel like y'all doing that to Will Smith. And I don't like that some people never fucking change. I'm so tired of people picking on that man. Dead ass. And like, I feel like, it's not even, your job as a journalist, you should like be able to detect whether somebody is bullshitting. Because anybody could say something about anybody. Look what happened to me in 2018 when a bitch that I didn't even know her fucking name, was saying that she know me, that she went to my house. Anybody could say a fucking fake ass story about you and people are gonna fucking fake ass believe it.
And that's the crazy part. That's the part that I think is crazy, because when she said as a journalist, Tasha ain't a journalist or whatever, and we weren't having YouTubers or whatever, but I still feel like people who post stories or people who share information to the masses, I do think we have a responsibility to make sure that we're not putting out some BS, okay? Like, sometimes we know when somebody putting 20 on 10, and how that man told that story was 20 on 10.
It should be your job to detect whether something is a lie or not, or like to have any type of proof, any type of evidence. And it's so fucked up that like somebody could put something so fucking salacious out and not think about like, oh, well, how is this gonna affect this person's mental health? How is this gonna affect somebody's day? Is this worth me fucking up somebody's mind? Is it worth for them to go through some shit like, damn, why me? Why I'm always in some shit? Like, shit is not worth it. God sees everything.
Period. Okay. And it's weird because Will ain't fucking with nobody. Will not messing with nobody. Like no one. And it seems like because he be staying quiet, it's easier for people to kind of ruin his name or whatever. And Will even saying, allegedly, per the Dappin brand, that he feels like he's the target of a smear campaign. I agree. Because for what? For what? It makes no sense. Will has been sitting around there minding his business, doing what he wants to do. And now the fact that someone he used to know wants to come out and say these things, which can kind of, not that it can ruin his career, because people can feel like, oh, he up been lying about this and lying about that, and then people can stop wanting to hire him because he's a high paid actor. So they do keep coming for him. And I think the point is, when you allow somebody up on your platform, you are responsible and they are spewing lies. And we use these, which say, where's the proof? Okay. I don't believe that, man. Look, anybody is capable of anything. As we now know from the lawsuit from today. Okay. However, I think the difference is this rumor about Will and Dwayne Martin has been going on so long. It's kind of just a salacious rumor. And I don't understand why people won't let it go, because even if Will did like penis a little bit on the side, that ain't nobody's business. That ain't nobody's business. And it seems like people just keep trying to push this narrative because to them that means, oh, okay, see, he's less of this, He's less of that. He was a successful artist. He was lying. It's like, just stop. And we still don't know who Jada and Will are going to sue, whether it's going to be that man or Tasha K. But like Cardi B said, they bullying that man for no real reason, and they being messy. And also I feel like when you have, because with the whole Diddy thing that came out today, Tasha K reposted a interview she did with one of Diddy's ex-girlfriends years ago, who was claiming that Diddy, you know what I'm saying, had put his hands on her. And I feel like sometimes, because you have the tendency to have people on your platform who don't tell the truth all the time, and you put them on there for them to say what they're going to say, it can make people feel like, well, she lying the same way we feel that old boy lying. So when you bring people up on your platform and we feel like you doing it for clicks and views and not really to air out somebody's truth, it makes it seem like a credible person may not be so credible. So we're going to see. Now, when they drop a lawsuit against Tasha K or that man, that will be discussed at a later date. Okay. Let me see, because I didn't want to stay on that too long. Y'all take one little second, y'all, and like the video and have a little dance break. Y'all like the new dance break? Because some of y'all may not have seen the new dance break. Y'all may not have seen it. Okay. I want to quickly touch on Karisha and Black China. Okay. So, let me get back to the screen, y'all. That'll get my I knew some of y'all had not seen. Yeah, that's Lenny Kravitz. Okay. We had to add Lenny Kravitz around here, because he was getting down on the good down. Okay, he was getting down, and I loved it. I added Lenny Kravitz yesterday. I want to get into Black China and Karisha. Now, Karisha and JT was on something, talking, and JT had asked Karisha, like, who is a guest that you would not, invite back to the thing, okay? And I was like, who is it?
You've had many famous guests on your podcast. Karisha, please name one guest you wouldn't invite back and why.
Black China.
I said, what? Now, when asked why she would not bring back Black China, she said, I didn't feel a connection. I just didn't, there was no connection with us. And I was like, it makes me a bit aggravated, because in my opinion, Karisha is easy. Wrong words. Karisha has an easier time interviewing people that she know that is kind of ratchet like her, whatever, or it's a little bit wild. And I'm like, when she had Black China on, Black China is now Angela White. You know what I'm saying? She isn't trying to be ratchet and all these things. She's not going to have these sexual conversations. It's not going to be her flirting with you, whatever. And if you watch old Karisha, interviews or whatever, that's really what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's people she kind of know who's kind of wild like her and will have wild conversations like her, whatever, flirt a little bit, I'll bang you, whatever. And that just isn't what Black China gives. And I feel like as an interviewer, if you cannot morph into the kind of person that can be opening up to anybody and make them over you, then it ain't the guest, it's you. It's also a thing where you have to watch who you bring on your platform, because if they don't match what you talk about, it's gonna be awkward and weird. Okay. And to me, I feel like Black China no longer wants to have these clickbait type of interviews. She's not saying crazy things, and sometimes that's what Karisha be doing. And so I'm like, to say, you would not have her, that's cool, but like, don't make it seem like she was boring and like that. Because what it was, you did not know how to interview somebody who has a different opinion, act different, talk different, is at a different point in life than you are. Okay. And in my opinion, that's why I don't think that she's a good interviewer, because you can easily talk to your friends, and like Santana, even Meg, you know what I'm saying, Summer Walker, those are people who kind of are on the same wavelength. And Black China changed. It would have been a good thing for you to find something to connect her with, because it was like, then why did you interview her? What was the reason? What was the reason for that? Okay. But Karisha, child, you gonna learn, because girl, your meal ticket has a lawsuit on his hands. Okay. And now I want to get to the Diddy of it all. Okay. Because I did not plan to be last today. That's why I kept real, you know what I'm saying, bro? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's a full thumbnail. But I was like, I just did not want to do too much. Oh no, wait, before that, I gotta get to these people. I forgot. I forgot. Now I know why we keep talking about Tamar? What happened? I don't wanna look, y'all know what I say. Anytime there's more information, we gonna talk. Okay. Now, we had the conversation yesterday. But this man up here, this is LaTroy. LaTroy is the person who first told all of us that Krishan punched James in the face. Now we have now learned, one, James and the people at the thing, they did call the police. He did say he wanted to press charges. They're really waiting for the process of them finding Krishan and all of that. That's up to the police, okay? But a report was filed. They caught all that has happened. People was going at LaTroy because LaTroy was the one who told what happened. And since then, LaTroy has been getting, as he said, threatening information or whatever, and folk coming at him and bothering him. His IG was his IG live was on block for a few days or whatever. And so a whole bunch of that was going on. So LaTroy got on the thing and went live because he felt like people was blaming him and he didn't even do shit. So once we watch his little 8-minute live, then we would get into the full thing with Diddy.
Just want to make this real quick, get this out of the way. I wanted to do this a few days ago, but let me tell you something. I know that I was like, oh, I don't know Krishan like that, and I know she made music or whatever, but Krishan has a bunch of fans, baby, because
the fact that he keep calling her Krishan is funny to me.
Because they have been wearing my ass out. They got my Instagram live blocked for 4 days. So I could not be on Instagram live. So I'm going to say that, like, I know that I didn't know about her and her ringtone, but baby, Krishan has the fans, honey. So I just want to do this live real quick. This is not going to be a bashing live and like trying to expose people or whatever. I do want to start this live first by saying that I would like to apologize to James, right? Chanel.
Up top in the corner.
I want to apologize to him because before I went online on Friday and talked about what happened, at the show. I did not ask James, could I say anything? I did tell him I was going to, but I wasn't like, James, is it cool or whatever. I talked to James at that night. Well, I stayed at the venue until like 2 a.m., making sure that everybody was good and everybody was okay. And then when I left, like James getting ready to go to the hospital, I called and talked to James every 30 minutes. And we were FaceTiming. And when I saw him on FaceTime, it had gotten worse. Like his face had gotten worse from the time that I saw him at the venue versus once he was at the hospital. And I really got really like angry and frustrated and emotional and maybe like prematurely. I was like, James, I'm gonna call you back. I'm gonna get on Instagram, let everybody know what happens. And I didn't ask him, I told him that I was going to do it. So I do want to apologize to James for that. I've spoken to James every day since this has happened, multiple times a day. James has never said to me that he had a problem with me doing that, but I do want to start that off with apologizing to James publicly if he does feel a way that I said something before he did. So
I wonder who was upset that LaTroy said, because to me, LaTroy is saying somebody is upset about me saying something. Because James ain't told me he upset, but somebody upset, and I need to come out here and address it. So I'm like, is Tamar upset? Is Tamar's people upset? Because him admitting how it happened, once I seen James' face, I got pissed, and I just, boom, I just shot out the cannon. Sometimes people do that. You get so pissed off that you just start going off. You start cussing, fussing, or whatever, and you're acting off of emotion. So at least he's admitting, I was acting real fast, honey. I didn't ask James. I just said it, and then I think, because it was not his story to tell. But at the same time, we have to stop being upset with a person who exposed somebody that did something wrong. Like, I mean, if Krishan punched at me and then Krishan ain't shit.
I do want to say that. Then, I've been getting dragged for filth for like the past 4 or 5 days and ain't nobody said nothing, but it is what it is. I know in the comments people were saying, they saw me be like, oh, this is my tour. And people were like, this is not your tour. This is, Tamar's tour. And you whatever, this isn't yours. And I just want to clarify what I mean when I say that this is my tour. This is something that Tamar has said publicly, that this is something her and I planned together, that we had pitched this tour to people. People didn't believe in it, so her and I kind of thugged it out and made this thing happen ourselves.
Child, him admitting, but I think Tamar has said this before, how nobody was like supporting her to do a tour. And she kept saying how this tour was like being put on by her people. You know what I'm saying? And she, like, they put their blood, sweat, and tears on the line, and it was done by them. So him, he was saying, like, me and Tamar felt it out, and we put on this tour, like, I'm like, because as he said, nobody wanted to do it. Like, meaning another touring company did not want to do it.
And I just want to clarify, when I say that it's my tour, yes, it's Tamar's name on the ticket, and she's singing, but it's parallel to that, it's my name on all the deals. I have had to... So this is not like a real tour. This is a bunch of one-offs we put together to create a tour, because no...
Child, now was that shady? No matter how true it may be, because when Tamar first was talking about this tour, I think at that point it had like 4 dates. You know what I'm saying? I think the 4 dates then went to maybe 5 dates. People kept saying initially, is this even a tour? Because a tour usually consists of more than like 3 or 4 dates. A tour is usually a whole thing. To him even explaining how it's not even a real tour. We're doing one-off dates and locations because we could not get anybody to back us up to do this tour, but because we won't believe in it, that's how it came about.
Nobody believed in having an actual Love Award 10-year anniversary tour. So I have had to personally be in contact with every single venue that has been played and that is going to be played, and negotiate with them, and set dates and pick dates, and talk to them and get the money that she wants and deserves and that she asked for. Has literally been all me. You know what I'm saying? So I have been the promoter in this situation.
So in my opinion, y'all, if what he's saying is true, and if he had to put in all the legwork to even get her on these, 10 dates of a little tour that she did, I can understand him saying this is my tour too, because I had to put it together. Y'all know usually when it was tours, it's a whole bunch of people handling things. When it's just you and the artist, that takes much more work. So that could be why he was so upset that a fight happens at one of the events if his name is on the line for these events.
So just like any other promoter or, people that put shows together, when they talk about things that they created, they be like, oh, this is my show, this is my tour, because if it wasn't for them, just like if it wasn't for the artist and their talent, there would not be a tour or a show. So I wanted to clear that up for when I say that. Y'all saw me in the comments like, oh, this is my show, like I can't get fired, this is my show, which is true. I don't work for Tamar. I do not work for Tamar. That is a common misconception. I am not a Tamar employee. I am not on anybody's payroll, okay? I work for myself. And so I just wanted to say that.
Meaning Tamar can't fire me, I can quit.
Clear that up. I'm never, ever, ever going to try to take away from Tamar and her talent. Like, I believed in this when nobody else did. I thought and still think that everybody deserves to experience the Love and War album in its entirety and how great it is and how great she sounds and how great she looks. So when I say this is my tour too, I'm not taking that away from her, but it does have to be acknowledged and it does have to be respected that just like if it wasn't for Tamar, this tour wouldn't happen. Just like if it wasn't for me, this tour wouldn't have happened. And Tamar said that. Like, there's tweets of her saying like, thank Mr. L. Davis for this whole, 10-year anniversary thing. It wouldn't have been anything without him.
Now, we can thank you for putting the tour together, but it's still Tamar singing. You can book all the dates you want to book, but if Tamar don't come sing, ain't no tour. So I think it's two different horns to be tooted. To Tamar horn for being the musical talent, being the artist, and then he can toot his horn for being the person who put it together. I don't see no issue with him wanting the credit for putting in hard work and getting these dates booked where no one wanted them to be booked. But I'm like, sir, stop saying it's your tour. They said you helped put together the tour.
And so I just want to say that to clarify when I have said in the comments, like, oh, this is my show or whatever. Not trying to take anything away from her. Okay, so the next thing, which is really what I wanted to talk about. Not going to be here long, I promise. What I really wanted to talk about is there have been a lot of people online and personally, like, not a lot of people like personally, but people that have access to me that have said that you should not have said anything. You should have let that remain private, let everybody handle it, without everybody knowing what happened. You should have just not said anything.
Now, I'm not a believer of that. Let me pop on screen. I don't believe that. I feel like anybody upset with him for saying something is being petty and bitchy. Because when you publicly punch somebody in the face at a concert around people, you can't be upset if somebody wants to talk about it. Like when he said earlier how he did not, he's sorry for James because he did not ask James about coming on and saying something. But I'm still like, I would not be upset because it happened. It ain't like unless he lied. I don't get why anybody would be upset unless he lied. And I don't think he lied.
And what I'm going to say to that is, I will never, ever in my life, and still won't, and I'm not ever going to apologize for exposing an abuser. As somebody that has witnessed abuse and has witnessed friends get like within inches of death being in abusive relationships, in abusive situations, I will never apologize for calling out something or someone or anyone that I know for a fact, and it's not speculation, has been abusive. I feel that so many times people are abused and, people are abused or they end up dead or they end up in a hospital in a coma. They get stabbed by a boyfriend or a jealous best friend or, they get shot and they're fighting for their lives. And the first thing everybody says is, oh my God, why didn't anybody say anything? I had no idea that was going on. Nobody told me that this abuse was going on. Oh my God, you had me around these people and you never told me that they were abusive. I had no idea. And then everybody want to be at the funeral crying. Everybody want to be at the hospital bringing flowers and edible arrangements. But nobody spoke up about the abuse that they knew was happening.
Sir, you are conflating two different issues. I agree that when somebody's in an abusive relationship, that can be handled differently if people don't. But I'm like, y'all knew who Krishan was. Y'all had even if you I don't know her music either, but I am aware of her antics. So Krishan isn't this, pristine angel who nobody knew was a volatile, basher. We know she be fighting folk. Okay. So I feel like, you're going a little bit too far in your explanation because the two things are not the same. Like, if you want to say, hey, I am okay with the fact that I, spoke out of turn and not expose a private moment, that's one thing. But don't conflate like a domestic abuse situation to this Krishan being a crazy person punching people in the face.
And so for me, again, as somebody that has seen abuse and abusive behavior in relationships, and just to be honest, abuse is not just when you're with somebody intimately, you're in a relationship or whatever. Abuse is when somebody is like verbally, physically, mentally abusive. That is abuse. And for all the people that are saying that I should not have said anything and I should have been quiet, there are plenty of people that are dead in the ground right now today because people around other people that were being abused didn't say anything. And they kept it quiet and they handled it privately. And then those people went on to abuse other people. And so I will never apologize for ever, calling out an abusive person for attacking someone. And that's just that. And again, my apology is to James if James was not ready for that to be said, or, I didn't get permission from him or running by him that I was going to say something. Well, I didn't ask him. I just told him. I'm like, James, I'm going to call you right back. Because when I saw James' face again on FaceTime, I was like, oh, hell no. I'm like, I'm getting on Instagram right now. And that's what I did. But again, I did not make sure that was okay with James first. So I do just want to say that publicly, that if James, dead ass, like, I'll talk to you every single day, multiple times a day since this has happened. I know you have not said to me that you are upset with me about that, but if you are, I do want to say publicly, I apologize to you for that.
I think his point is, I'm saying sorry to James. I'm not saying sorry to Krishan, because when we seen Tamar speak out, Tamar was the one who was trying to be sympathetic to James, but also be sympathetic to Krishan. And I still feel like Krishan in this situation don't need no sympathy.
For saying something before you were ready for anybody to say anything. But again, I want to reiterate this, and I want to make this very clear. For any and everyone that is in the comments or saying, and they're worried about reputation and all this other stuff that to me, still to this day, doesn't matter. When somebody is physically hurt and assaulted, I will not apologize ever for calling out an abuser. And I actually employ people to do the same. If you know somebody's being abused, or like you just, it's the craziest thing to me that people are like, you should have not told the truth about somebody being abusive. You should have kept that quiet. You should have kept that behind closed doors. And I just feel, especially in the African-American community, we do that so much. Everybody just always wants to say, no, keep that in the house. Don't tell nobody.
Well, no, you should say something now. But I don't feel like it's a secret that Krishan is a fighter. That's the only part I feel like he is trying to push that don't match the situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't no secret how Krishan is. So anybody who is around her should be aware she might swing. We don't know on who. She could swing on somebody in the audience because she is a volatile person. Now, that don't mean that people expect it to happen, but you have to know that it could happen because that's just who she is. And even she don't see the error of her ways.
No, kitchen table talk. And it's like, nah, dog, like, people are being, like, hurt. And anybody that knows me, they know that I am, like, a big-ass teddy bear. I have a mouth on me. Okay, right. But, I'm a big-ass teddy bear, and I really, really care, and I really, really love people. And it really, really, really upset me and made me angry when I saw James' face the way that I saw it on Friday.
And sometimes that can set you off. When you love somebody, when you're friends with somebody, and something happens to them, and when you see them, like, oh, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. And then they have to go to the hospital, and then as their bruises, tend to get bigger, tend to get darker or whatever. But if the damage, continues to grow and you see them, I can understand you getting pissed. because you see the damage that was done. You know, we know of, like, when you know somebody who was in some kind of volatile information, because some volatile situation, and you see them, like, there's one thing to hear your friend got into a fight, and then to see your friend beaten up and bloodied and broken noses or whatever it may be, it does piss you off. And if you don't know how to not react in your pissed offness, things can tend to slip out and happen, in my opinion. And I think that's what happened with him. He reacted, and he did not need to react, but he reacted.
So, again, I do regret. No, I don't regret. I do apologize if James is upset that I went online talking about it before he did. I will never apologize for telling the truth. And I actually would like that if more people would I know you guys have been saying I've been getting death threats. People say they're going to beat me up. And
I also feel like, because when he first spoke about it, because he was so animated, because as we now know, he was mad. I feel like had he waited and calmly explained what happened, and it wasn't all that extraness, people may not have been so turned off by his first video, because it was a video he did, the post he posted, because we said earlier how Chrisean Rock's fans got his IG like banned for, like, he can't go live for like 3 or 4 days or whatever. I think that could have been because of what you were saying on your stories, because you were calling her all kind of names or whatever, and how bad she was, and blah 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 blah. But again, it's because he was out here reacting to a situation when, had he just took a beat, took a little pause, he just inhaled and exhaled or whatever, and centered himself and everybody around him, he could have had a more calm explanation of what happened. Because, you know, Tamar was calm in her conversation. Tamar's tour manager was calm in his conversation. Even when James did his 2 lives or whatever, his 2 lives, he was calm. And LaTroy was the only one who was extra loud, animated. Because I was like, is that Tamar? Is she? Because he act and sound like she do. So he reacted, and he should have calmed the fuck down. Okay, and then went off, but calmed me a couple days later.
a lot of times why people don't speak up when they know about people being in abusive behavior, abusive relationships and abusive behavior, because they're scared of the backlash they'll get, just like I've been getting for this. But yeah, I just want to jump in here and say that, like, this, like I said, this is not a bash anybody thing. It has been a few days, honey, for sure. But I did just want to say that I am not going to be apologizing for not keeping this private. I think that is a huge problem, especially in the African American community, when people know that people are harming other people and don't say anything. That's not cool, and that's not okay. And I'm never going to be that person. And whatever repercussions come to me because of that, that's on me. You know what I'm saying? But I know at the end of the night and at the end of the day, I'm going to be able to say, yo, like, you know that was wrong. You know James was assaulted, and you spoke up about it. And there's going to be nobody in this world that is going to make me feel bad about speaking out about abuse. You know, 8 days.
Somebody, in my opinion, somebody in that circle has told him he was wrong for speaking out. And I don't think he was wrong for speaking out. I don't think he was wrong for how he did it, but not that he did it. And I feel like him saying, like, I'm not going to have anybody make me apologize for speaking out on something that happened. I just want to,
speaking out about abuse. You know, 8 days later, everybody has now come out and said what's the truth. And I know people say, like, our stories have been changed and stories are different. Everybody's story is different. Everybody's experience was different. So nobody's story is going to be the same. That never happens. Like, that's why there's so many different versions of the Bible. But
I don't think the stories are different. I feel like if you clearly listen to everybody's conversation on the matter, they all say the same thing. The only part that differs is they, like, you know, was Chrisean supposed to perform, or was Chrisean just there to like a little pop-on guest? And that's because, in my opinion, Tamar probably told people different things. But if you hear each story, none of their stories differ. It all is the same thing. Chrisean was there, invited by Tamar. Chrisean thought she was supposed to go on stage for one reason or the other. She never got on stage. And once she got upset about feeling like somebody lied on her, she punched him in the face. So no one's story is really different at all, in my opinion.
Yeah, I just wanted to clear that up because I did not lie. It happened, as it's been confirmed by other people outside of just me at this point. And I will not be issuing an apology for calling out somebody that is abusive, and somebody that physically assaulted someone, and somebody that chipped somebody's tooth, and somebody that busted somebody's nose, and somebody that busted somebody's lip open. I'm not going to apologize for calling that out. I'm not going to wait for that to happen to somebody else. And then everybody want to go public like, well, you know, she beat up James at the concert 8 years ago. And everybody like, well, why didn't nobody say nothing? Y'all continue to allow this to happen. So that's that. Again, it's not a bash party. I'm never here to bash nobody or throw anybody under the bus, but I did want to say that it's been a lot of comments about that in particular. So that is all that I wanted to say. It's a very unfortunate situation. I'm no longer a part of the tour that I put together.
Now that's crazy. Do y'all think it's now? I don't know if he quit, got fired, or whatever, but I do feel like if y'all had this tour, that was successful because each show was sold out, and because of something that Chrisean did, the fact that he is no longer going to be, working with Tamar on the tour, I'm like, that's crazy.
But it is fine. I still want everybody to go. I think it's a great show. I've worked my ass off. I have sacrificed a lot. Time, energy, money, connections. I have worked my ass off. And for anybody that thinks that I would try to sabotage something that I took on for free, okay? There was not a dollar or a dime up front.
Not for free?
I actually think at this point everybody on this tour has made more money than me. But there's just no way that I would want to destroy that or not see that do well. So I just hope that this cloud and shadow that's over it at this point goes away soon. I know everybody's gonna be like, well, you're still talking about it. I told y'all, them people got my Instagram live what's it called? Disabled for 3 to 4 days. Let me tell you, Chrisean's fans do not play. When them Chrisean fans started coming at me, I was like, did I get myself into? Because I really was not familiar. I was like, I want to address that too. I never said I didn't know her. I didn't know that she did real people performance music. But I was like, oh, like this girl is a big deal. Like the people are really, really, really into her.
No, the children are into her. I feel like the reason that Chrisean gets the social media attention she wants is because she has young fans. Tamar is in her 40s. You know what I'm saying? Tamar is in her upper 40s. So people our age, we not really up here of, trying to follow people and cuss them out and fuss and cuss. We ain't doing that. But, Chrisean is 23. Her fans are probably are teenagers and people in their early 20s or whatever. And it's just foolishness all up and through. However, I hope at this point in time, don't nobody else say nothing else about nothing. The next thing we should hear is Chrisean has been arrested and charged since they called the police. Okay, police. Because speaking of the police, child, let's get to the main event. Okay, now this is the gotcha. Okay, this is the gotcha. I don't think anyone felt like, oh, I can wake up today and be told that Cassie filed a $30 million lawsuit against Diddy. Now, I had to say so much stuff because so many people were coming forth and saying stuff. Child, these are the notifications. So many people were saying stuff about stuff like, we had 50 Cent trolling, saying, damn, brother love. You're out here looking crazy as an MF, laughing my ass off. Okay, I'm like, sir, you probably next. Somebody has to tell me that, you know what I'm saying, he did something too. Okay. We then had former Bad Boy artist Don Rashad. Okay, Don Richard. Okay. Also Aubrey O'Day, who were, you know, showing love and support to, because y'all know Don and, you know, and Aubrey were both in Them Decaying. Then Don was also in Dirty Money. So there was a round, okay? And Dawn said, you know, praying for Cassie and her family for peace and healing. You are beautiful and brave, okay? And then we had Aubrey, who said, been trying to tell y'all for years, prayers up for this queen, Cassie. So people were speaking out left and right. You then had motherfucking Azalea Banks saying one time did he, you know what I'm saying, beat her up so bad that he sent her to on a 3-week vacation in Hawaii so no one would see her. So it's all these stories that people are just saying and popping in and saying this and saying that. You know, old clip of Young Jackson that Diddy demanded Kathy shave her head came back up. He was talking to DJ Vlad. Okay, so that happened back in 2009 when she got her hair. So again, so much like as the world is turning, everybody is just coming up out the woodwork. Okay, we then had this person who says, "Oh, Cassie's former personal assistant says the alleged claims are true. Said it's all true. I've seen it with my own eyes. As her personal assistant, it was sad to watch, but I'm happy she's good now and speaking out." So again, just a lot of people. Okay. Now Diddy, of course, and his team were saying it's not true. No, it's not true. They're trying to make it seem as if she's blackmailing him, and that, you know, what she said is just unequivocally true. Great, no, unequivocally, whatever. It ain't right. It ain't true. Okay, and that she's trying to blackmail him. She was asked for all this money. She threatened to write a book and all this stuff. So again, Diddy said it wasn't me. It wasn't me. I didn't do it. Get out my face. I'm innocent. But, you know, we've just been hearing this over the years, y'all. Over the years, what we've heard about Diddy is not shocking me. Because I also want to mention, because I saw it on Twitter when somebody said, but what's the difference? Why y'all gonna believe what Cassie's saying about Diddy, but y'all don't want to believe what that man said about Will Smith? I was like, because it's different. Will Smith possibly being gay is like, that's a rumor, but somebody saying this is what Diddy did to me. This is what I had to go through with him. And the gotcha is, when she was with Diddy all those years, everyone always said, why shoot that old ass man? Because again, when she met him, she was 19 and he was 30 something. Okay. But let's just get into the complaint. Let's get into it. Because when I tell you, look, trigger warning. Look, y'all know what we here to discuss. So if you here, I hope you are able to be here and have this conversation. Please watch your wording in the comment section. Okay, please watch your wording in the comment section. We all know what it's about. So certain things we do not have to say. Okay, I just want y'all to know that. I want to make sure y'all can all read it too. So, 35-page complaints that she filed in her federal lawsuit against Diddy. It's not just Diddy. It's Diddy, Bad Boy Entertainment, Bad Boy Records, Epic Records, Combs Enterprise, LLC, and DOE Corps. And so it's everything. Okay, it's everything. So, of course, we know his name was Sean Combs. Her name is Miss Ventura. Okay. So, in 2022, again, y'all, we're having look, let me see. We're going to have a reading session. Okay. We're going to read the complaint together. So we all have the same information. Okay? Cassie is speaking out against Diddy, and we're going to read it together. You hear me? Okay, have fun. Okay, get you some water and some juice and whatever. Okay? Yeah, this is a read along. Okay, it's a read along. I'm going to pop off camera as well, so y'all can just, I'm going to make it the whole thing, okay? Because it ain't about me. And that way I can see. Now, if you commenting, I really can't see your comments either. But still comment, y'all, amongst each other. Okay, so in 2022, you know, he got the Lifetime Achievement Award at the BET Awards. Doing a speech, he thanked everybody, gave a special shout out to Cassie, you know, for holding me down in the dark times, love, okay? It's the truth, however, that Cassie, Miss Cassandra Ventura, was held down by Mr. Combs and endured over a decade of his violent behavior and disturbed demands. And for Miss Ventura, the dark times were those she spent trapped by Mr. Combs in a cycle of abuse, violence, and trafficking. Okay? Trafficking. Among other violent and unlawful acts, Mr. Combs are Miss Ventura in her own home after she tried to leave him, often punched, beat, kicked, and stomped Miss Ventura, resulting in bruises, burst lips, black eyes, and bleeding. Okay? Blew up. And again, I'm saying things in a way that will hopefully, again, not get flagged. Okay? We just hope. Allegedly blew up a man's car after he learned that he was romantically interested in Miss Ventura, and that, of course, is Cassie. Forced her to engage in acts with male intercourse workers while touching himself and filming the encounters. He ran out of his apartment with a firearm in pursuit of a rivalry industry executive who he learned was nearby, demanded that Miss Ventura to carry his firearm in her purse just to make her uncomfortable and demonstrate how dangerous he is, and introduce her to a lifestyle of excessive alcohol and substance abuse, and require her to procure illicit prescriptions to satisfy his own addictions. Now, how they met. It says Miss Ventura met him in 2005. She was 19 years old. She was 19. He was 37. 19 and 37. He signed her to his label, Bad Boy Records, and within a few years, lured Miss Ventura into ostentatious, fast-paced, and drug-filled lifestyle and into a romantic relationship with him, her boss, one of the most powerful men in the entertainment industry. The fact that they're saying, you know how powerful that man is. Wait, wrong button. Which one is it? I can't find the right button, y'all. There we go. It's weird because I feel like, where's the button? Why is it being weird? Hold on, y'all. I couldn't find it. Diddy still is powerful. Diddy still is somebody who we can't act like we don't know that he has a lot of power in the industry, and that anybody attempting to shun him or even lie on him don't really get away. Like, don't nobody come for Diddy or anybody else in this industry who has as much power and influence as he does. Okay, so let's get back into it. It says her boss, one of the most powerful men in the industry, and a vicious, cruel, and controlling man for nearly 2 decades her senior. Mr. Combs asserted complete control of her life, personal and professional. I won't try to be able to fully see the thing. There we go. Again, he put himself in her life, for personal and professional, meaning she can't get out. Because if he's controlling your life, your personal life, your professional life, that means he's how you make money. That's how you make money. You know what I'm saying? Throughout their relationship, Mr. Khan was prone to uncontrollable rage and frequently beat Miss Ventura savagely. They were witnessed by his staff, employees of Bad Boy, and his related businesses, but no one dared to speak up against their frightening and ferocious boss. And we know that be happening. It says, following these episodes of horrific abuse, Mr. Combs would immediately attempt to hide her and the evidence of his rage. Because if no one can see her, then no one knows what's going on. It says he also would remind her of his ability to cause harm, whether by requiring her to carry his gun in the purse or by blowing up a car of a musician that was. Now they said that it was a Kid Cudi. It was Kid Cudi. It was some kind of way that man car blew up. I was like, Jesus, okay. It says, adding to injury, Mr. Combs would use illegal substances and threats of violence to force her into repeated unwanted sexual encounters with male sex workers. Over the years, he abused her physically and sexually. Again, she tried to leave him, but he had a tight hold on her life. And every time she hid, Mr. Combs' vast network of corporations and affiliated entities found her. Those who worked for him would say, hey, you should return. Many went as far as to explicitly state that her failure to return to Mr. Combs would hinder her success in the entertainment industry. When she believed that she had finally separated from her longtime abuser, she joined him for dinner, after which he forced her to her home. He argued her while she repeatedly said no and tried to push him away. Child. Now let's get into the actual conversations of when things happen. Again, teenage Miss Ventura meets middle-aged Mr. Combs as her career begins. They met in 2005 or 2006. He heard her song playing in the club and like, I want to sign her to my record label. She was 19, he was 37. It says within months, she signed a 10-album deal. Look, to sign a 19-year-old person to a 10-album deal, what that really is you are keeping them in a contract for years. And no tea, no shade. I feel like Cassie was a young, beautiful woman, but she wasn't like a star. Even when she had a song called Me and You, a lot of folk even said then she did not seem like a star. So I'm like, to have her sign a 10-album deal almost sound like entrapment. Meaning you want her to be caught up in this deal for so long. And I don't think she put out 10 albums ever in life. Did she put out more than one? I don't like a 10-album deal. I don't recall any performance that Cassie did back then that was worth 10 albums. And that's no tea, no shit. I'm not victim blaming. I'm just saying how clearly he put her in a contract that she would not be able to get out of for a long time. That's my point. Okay. Her album came out in 2006. It debuted at number 4 on the Billboard Hot 200s. She had appearances on MTV's 24 Course Live, TRL, and BET's 106 Park, and she suffered significant performance anxiety because back then she wasn't really a performer. The press outlets were highly critical of her, of the shows, and Diddy then said, you can hear the nervousness in her voice, and to be honest, I kind of smiled at it because it made me really appreciate what I really love about her. She's a regular person. It has made me appreciate that she got nervous, and it was kind of cute to me, to be honest. You got to understand that success for her is coming out of nowhere. It's just so huge, and sometimes everybody handles it differently, okay? Now, they say it was true. She got really famous really fast, mainly because she's a cute little girl around there with Diddy. It says Mr. Combs' recognition and glorification of Ms. Ventura's naivete proved to set the groundwork for his manipulative and coercive romantic and sexual relationship with Ms. Ventura, a woman nearly 2 decades his junior. Okay, because she's 19, he's 37. It goes on to how much he was involved in her life, how he just kept putting himself in her life, how he asked her to go on tour with him, to perform over there in Europe to a song. How after rehearsal at the MTV Europe Awards, after the rehearsal, Mr. Combs walked out in a robe with a drink in his hand, flaunting his lavish party lifestyle to the label's newly signed artist. So they're trying to make it seem like he's this young girl who is young and naive, and who he's making it seem like she should really be with me because I'm fancy and I'm fly and I have all this money. Child. She was told that he liked her, and she said, "Yeah, no," because again, he's older than me. He's my boss. No, I don't want that. Leave me be or whatever. Okay, but again, he had all the power. And then, since Mr. Combs was also ensured he was entwined with her personal and social life. For instance, inviting himself to her 21st birthday in Vegas. He also brought along famous musicians and producers, thereby flaunting his celebrity status and influence in front of a young and impressionable Miss Ventura. So again, Cassie's saying he tricked me because he flaunted this lifestyle, had me in this deal, and was just trying to allure me to him. Okay, said that how Diddy knew Cassie was in a relationship at the time. And even though he was publicly in a relationship with Kim Porter, he still pursued Cassie. Now, I remember back then. Because folks kept on saying we see him with Cassie sometime, we see him with Kim Porter sometime. So I remember when he was like messing with both of them, and when at one point it was, I think it was just like it was what it was. It was what it was. And that was just a life that was lived. It says, again, at the 21st birthday, even though she had a boyfriend, he dated Kim Porter, Diddy still allegedly was coming after her, whatever, and how Diddy pulled Cassie into a bathroom and forcibly kissed her. She did not consent, and it was unwanted, and she ran out the bathroom in the hotel and cried, told her best friend at the time, but she did not tell anyone else. Then at the VMA Awards, she came with her boyfriend, and Diddy got pissed and told her, "It's for you only. You can't bring him." Okay, so even though he was messing with Kim Porter, he didn't want Cassie dealing with anybody else besides him at the time. Okay, and then says despite her clear rejection of Mr. Combs' advances, he continued to demand Cassie spend time with him, including for a weekend at his house in Miami and for nights out in New York. This is one night in 2007 in September. Mr. Combs insisted on taking her out, and she feared that rejecting him would she would face repercussions for her album deal. Because I got a 10 album deal. He's my boss. Can I say no? He picked her up from her apartment in a luxury vehicle. Okay, he was already drunk. He gave her a pill to take, and what is this? What is this? He said, "Just take it. You'll like it." Found out later on it was ecstasy. Okay, she had never done drugs before, but now he done got popping ecstasy. Okay, and that was the first time that Diddy got her high. He then drove around recklessly at a high rate of speed or whatever, and she was very scared, but she did not say nothing. Okay, he seemed to be drunk, high, and agitated. So I'm gonna leave that man be. Okay, they went to some upscale lounge in Manhattan where there was an altercation with security or whatever, who would not let him in the club because he was already too damn drunk. She went home, and he complained that she left him alone and hide. I'm like, nigga, you got high. In early 2007, Combs flexed his power and influence when he paid a promoter to create a fake flyer for a party hosted by her. This fake posting allowed Ms. Ventura to have an excuse to go to Miami and then to get her away from her boyfriend by using the guise of a legitimate event she had to attend. She was stunned at how easily Combs was able to recruit others to lie for him. And we've heard about artists in the industry lying. Miss Ventura was uncomfortable with the fake flyer, but because the request to go to Miami was made by the owner of her record label, and because she was scared to go against his wishes and face repercussions to her about her career, she went. During the trip, he gave her drugs. She became more intoxicated than she had ever had before. He had her intoxicated or whatever. She was the whole trip. As she wanted Mr. Combs to continue her support, she wanted him to keep supporting her career. She felt she could not refuse him, urging her to take drugs. After providing her with the drugs, Combs had sexual intercourse with her during this trip. Within 2 years of meeting Mr. Combs, Ms. Ventura found herself lured into the immediate circle of her boss, the owner of her record label, and one of the most powerful men in the industry. How he then got control of her life. So from the start, he had power over her, influence, and blah, blah, bloop. Again, a nearly 20-year age difference. He was a mogul, and she was at the start of her career. It says Mr. Combs' aggressive and demanding approach to those he worked with made it impossible for anyone to challenge him. And Cassie soon learned that Mr. Combs insisted on blind loyalty to everyone in his inner circle. Now, let's be clear about something. We all have watched, anybody who watched Making the Band, anyone who watched him on the Making the Band season, specifically with Danity Kane, we saw how he treated those ladies. How he really, even how he treated all of the people on Making the Band, okay? Diddy, and like now, that may be the reason Making the Band episodes have not re-aired. Because watching those episodes, seeing how he talked to them people, how he treated them people, it gives off the same way he was acting towards Aubrey O'Day, the same way we've seen them is act in general, is what he did with Cassie. Except with Cassie, wasn't no cameras around. If you watch Making the Band, and even how he fired Aubrey O'Day, how he fired how he fired D Woods, how he treated those ladies and how he wanted them to just follow what he said, like do what I say, do or else. And we saw how everybody except Aubrey just sat there and stayed quiet. Thank you for super chat, Simply K. So she broke with that trainer and needs money now because it was all good, which was off him. Child. I wish I didn't read that shit. Look, I appreciate the cash app, but please, child. Child. I'm gonna start reading them things before I put them up on screen because what? That sounds stupid. That sounds dumb. So anybody who wants a comment read out that is going to be victim blaming, please don't super chat me to do that. Because I don't want to read that kind of stuff on my channel at all. But back to Diddy and his bullshit. Okay. The thing that Cassie is saying in this complaint, in this federal lawsuit, if you watch Megan the Band is evident. The only difference is it's stuff we did not see. And Aubrey O'Day is the only person from Them Decay who has always been extremely vocal about how toxic Diddy is and how he ruined the group. And if we was to just rewatch those episodes, and we see how he is controlling, how he does want people to do what he say do, and if not, you done. And that is why Megan the Band, because remember at one point they were talking about bringing Megan the Band back, and then it just went away. Because if you watch that now, Diddy was a horrible person to them people. Having them fools up there singing for beds. You know what I'm saying? He broke up Daddy Kane simply because they did not want to be up under his thumb. And this stuff with Cassie happened before Megan the Band. So a lot of this stuff is like old stuff. Thank you, Wanda, for the super chat. Send the other super chat back. Send it right back. Send it right back. You know what I'm saying? And because we can kind of see how Diddy operates, we've seen how he operates in relationships. We've always questioned why he had Kim Porter, and he also had Cassie. He also had Chance's mama. Because remember, Chance's mama and the twins, Chance and the twins the same. Because Diddy was right Diddy bopping. Round here Diddy bopping, okay? So it seems plausible. It seems extremely plausible. Okay. Now, let's continue. It says, although Miss Ventura has saved up some earnings from her young modeling career, Mr. Combs' ostentatious display of wealth was intimidating to her. He paid for things with wads of cash. He will repeatedly tell Miss Ventura, don't worry about the money. I have money. Combs is his expense. And again, this is stuff that Karisha be saying now. How my man got it. We see how much he lavishly spoils the women he deal with now. We see exactly what it is. Exactly what it is. Like all this stuff is stuff like that's his MO. That's just what he do. We see him in Karisha, and Karisha is also half his age. Karisha to me is the new Cassie. Let me see, how old is Karisha? This is Karisha. I'm like, how now? So Karisha 29, Diddy 54. So again, he likes dating younger women. Karisha's 25 years younger than Diddy. 25 years his senior. And when he was messing with Cassie, Cassie was 18 years, younger than him. So, like, Karisha is the new Cassie. It says, Mr. Combs expense lavish vacations for him and Miss Ventura, purchased a car for her, paid for her apartment, and provided her with extensive amounts of designer clothing. Around 2008 and 2009, Combs began to rent an apartment in Manhattan for her. The apartment was within walking distance of Mr. Combs' New York residence. He first showed her the apartment by bringing her there along with her parents. And her parents were skeptical of the noble display of wealth, but proud of their daughter's newfound success. In 2010, he similarly paid for an apartment for Miss Ventura in LA, which was located about 5 minutes from his LA house. He paid for many of her apartments in Cali and also purchased a Jaguar for her around 2013 and 2014. This is all aspects of her life were controlled by either him or his management companies. Every event she attended, from the travel to makeup and clothing, was paid for directly from him or his companies. He secured his control over her by introducing her to drug-fueled lifestyle that kept her complacent and compliant. That he first introduced her to opioids around 2008, and would often have pills and other drugs out in the open like candy. Upon information and belief, Mr. Combs has been addicted to prescription painkillers and took ecstasy frequently. At first, she was given prescriptions that Mr. Combs received from a doctor in Miami, Florida, and when he ran out of his pills, he requested and demanded for her to get the pills, in her name for him. He became deeply involved in her personal life, with his personal staff attending to her day-to-day travel and other needs, including medical care. On multiple occasions, Mr. Combs had Ms. Ventura's multiple occasions, Mr. Combs had Ms. Ventura's personal medical records sent directly to his email. For instance, when Ms. Ventura became experiencing memory loss, potentially due to excessive drug use and or head injuries caused by Mr. Combs' beatings and described below, her MRI results were provided directly to Mr. Combs, and he also repeatedly arranged for his staff to drive her to certain doctor appointments. In this way, he exerted ownership of her. As another example of the ways in which he manipulated Ms. Ventura and ensured obedience, earlier on in their relationship, he asked her what she called her grandfather, and she said that she preferred the grandfather as Pop Pop. He insisted that not that she called him Pop Pop. That is nasty. When their relationship got to be violent and abusive. Hold on, I need some water, y'all. My mouth getting dry. Hold up. What started as a whirlwind celebrity meetings and drug and alcohol-fueled parties quickly turned frightening and violent. Ms. Ventura was also exposed to intense violence that pervaded Mr. Combs' rise to fame. For example, on one occasion when Mr. Combs and Ms. Ventura were using drugs together in his home, one of his security staff barged in and announced that Suge Knight, child, what Suge do? Suge Knight, a longtime rival of Mr. Combs, was spotted at Mel's Drive-In Diner in LA, and Combs began to get dressed, retrieved multiple guns from a safe, and ran out of his home to where he believed Knight was dining, and she became terrified and she was crying. Now I believe that because y'all know Suge and Puffy been beefing, child, since the 90s. And sometimes if you think somebody after you and you a little bit high on your own supply, you don't think it happened and you don't know what's going on. So that part seems a bit okay. On at least 2 occasions, Mr. Combs demanded that she hold his gun in her purse. It said she didn't know about no guns. She was scared, okay, and that it was no reason for him to have her hold them except to, make her see how dangerous he was and what he could do. He probably, honey, ain't that what happened with him and J-Lo? Ain't that what happened with him and J-Lo? Him and J-Lo was in that car and it was that shooting thing or whatever, and the gun was in there, and J-Lo said, I ain't holding that gun. I am not holding that gun. Not me, not today, not ever. So again, it sounds familiar. It sounds familiar. Over the next decade, multiple times a year, he would have violently beat Ms. Ventura, leaving bruises on her body after every instance in which he did that, he used his money and power to orchestrate extensive efforts to hide the evidence of his abuse, including by hiding her in hotels for days at a time to let the bruises heal. And one such instance after a party with Jay-Z, Combs beat her up repeatedly in escalade, including by kicking and hitting her. He forced her out of the vehicle on Fifth Avenue in New York. She was eventually able to hail a cab and get to her apartment in Manhattan, where she cried in fear, realizing there was no one she could tell about it. What happened at the hands of this incredibly powerful man, she spent the subsequent 3 days in hiding. In 2009, after Mr. Combs learned that she spoke to somebody else, she spoke to the manager at a party, he became enraged. She had hoped speaking to this manager would allow her to further her career and that Combs would be happy for her. But instead, he became extremely angry and pulled her out of the club where they were partying was taking place. In the car, he beat her up, pushing her into a corner of the vehicle. Child, honey, beat her up. Bad. Okay. How his security tried to stop the situation, but was unable to de-escalate the situation. The car arrived at his house. She tried to run, but he followed her and proceeded to, again, kick her in the face. She was bleeding. That is crazy. Diddy is crazy. If what she's saying is true, Diddy is insane. And I'm leaving it up on the screen so y'all can just see how is this talking about how much he was like, you know what I'm saying, this out here, jump on that girl. And then it says, upon recognizing the damage he had done and the physical evidence of the abuse, he panicked, forced his staff to bring her to a hotel in London. Forced his staff to bring her to a hotel suite at the London Hotel in LA, where she was required to stay for a week. During the stay of her injuries, as her injuries from the beating healed, she began to realize that Mr. Combs was, she began to realize that he, tremendously loyal network, not only knew about and witnessed his assault, but also that these witnesses were not willing to do anything to stop him from doing it. She realized that she was powerless and that reporting him would not alter the status, meaning I can't get out. Well, in the hotel, she asked to go home to her parents, but Combs would not let her leave. She lied to her mom when asked about an online gossip forum that reported the assault. Now, I had sent this story to somebody. And I don't know if they may bring it up in their own recap of it. But the person I sent it to said, girl, the story in the LA, my friend who was there, and she told me about it back when it happened. Said puffy security took people's phones and everything. It's crazy reading this. My friend told me they were arguing and running through the lobby and into the garage. And she jumped in the cab and Screedy drove over to the curb and everything. So, like, people knew it happened because who I sent this story to said as they read it, they remembered their friend telling them about it years ago. So now that Cassie's bringing it up in this lawsuit, it's like he was really around there crazy and deranged. You hear me? Combs instructed his assistant to purchase excessive amounts of gifts for her, which were delivered to the hotel room where she remained trapped. She was terrified, isolated, and unable to see a pathway out of his abusive hold on life. She found herself becoming numb to the abuse she was experiencing and became entirely beholden to Mr. Combs' demands. She began to blindly follow his instructions out of fear of again being on the receiving end of vicious beatings. By Mr. Combs' own admissions, his relationship with Miss Ventura was like Bobby and Whitney, a clear acknowledgement of the unequal power dynamic and excessive domestic violence that permitted their relationship. Mr. Combs forces her into, you see what it say, from trafficking. Within months of beginning their relationship, the romantic part of it, okay, 40-year-old Combs and 22-year-old Miss Ventura felt beholden to his whims and demands, while in New York City told her, hey, I want to have a little fantasy called voyeurism, where it would turn me on if he was able to see her with other dick. I'm like, what? It said the first time Miss Combs hired a man, brought the man to the house in LA. The man, Mr. Combs, and Ventura, meaning Cassie, wore masquerade masks and ingested drugs. Mr. Combs directed Miss Ventura to perform acts with this man while Combs watched them. He touched himself and directed them on what to do. It lasted multiple days. He called them freak-offs or FOs, folks. Okay, he would tell her, hey, at random moments, I want a FO. Okay, and she was expected to she would have to set it up, location, hire them. Not she had to hire people. Girl, you want me to set up me to set what? Like what number? Like what number do you call to find the hoes, the male hoes at that? Okay. At a certain point during the relationship, he would insist on a freak off weekly and tell her, hey, it's our thing, it's our secrets. FOs would often take place in hotel suites, including at the Trump International Hotel in Columbus, Circle L, and Beverly Hills, the London Hotel. Girl, everywhere. On one occasion around 2013, the Combs had a freak off set up at the Intercap. Oh, this is what friends talking about, okay? This was friend men. At one time in 2013, a FO set up at the Intercontinental Hotel in New York City, after which he was charged with tens of thousands of dollars in damage to the hotel. Upon information and belief, Combs Chief of Staff Tony Fletcher paid the invoice charge. Now y'all had a whole situation. She was then told, hey, use websites and escort services to find male workers that we can pay. Okay. He said, so allegedly, Mr. Combs told Miss Ventura, hey, search for large black tree trunks. Okay. Large black turkey legs. Large black drumsticks. Okay. Sometimes Combs would pay to fly male workers to locations, including to multiple cities in LA, or no, multiple cities in the US, as well as abroad. He required her and his staff to help make the arrangements. We need some girl. No. Mr. Combs' assistants would help to set up the FOs, including by setting up the hotel suites with baby oil and Astroglide. Girl, who doing the gliding? Mr. Combs always supplied Miss Ventura and the worker with copious amounts of drugs. Before and during the FOs, Miss Ventura was given ecstasy, cocaine, GHB, not ketamine, marijuana, and alcohol in excessive amounts during the freakouts. I'm calling freakouts, which allow her to disassociate during these horrific encounters. It became commonplace to get IV fluids in the days after to recover from. Girl, that is crazy. He would make her dress up in lingerie and said she wore white nail polish to contrast her nails with the skin of the black men he hired to have sex with her. Not girl. Oh Lord. Oh Lord Jesus. Okay. During the FOs, Mr. Combs would instruct Miss Ventura to pour excessive amounts of oil on herself, he was instructing Miss Ventura and the worker to speak to each other, and then was specifically tell Cassie where to touch the person and say stuff like, grab that big black drumstick. How does it feel? Perform for me. Okay. Girl, freaky, dinky. During the FOs, in addition to directing Miss Ventura and touching himself, Combs will use phone, laptop, and tablets to film these acts with these hired people. He treated the forced encounter as a personal art project, adjusting the angle, for adjusting the candles. Aura, you mean to tell me that Puffy was round here being Aura of the Kelly, except with people who was of age? That's the only difference. He's round here pulling an Aura of the Kelly. While Cassie quickly deleted any photographs or videos of the acts, if they were taken on her phone, he made it clear that he had retained many videos of the girl. Now he got his own videos. Even when she deleted the videos, Combs would tell her that he's able to recover the girl. He can recover the girl. He recovered the deleted shit. On one occasion, he sat next to her on a flight and made her watch a video she thought she had deleted, reinforcing her inability to escape an immense power he had over her. He would pay the male workers a few $1,000s in cash for their services. He would be drunk, would hit her in front of the workers. She would repulse between the physical beatings, recognize her incredible power. Oh, she became petrified of him and felt she could not say no. He still would give her gifts, lavish gifts, in the middle of the FO, seemingly acknowledging that the ways in which these forced encounters constituted work for her, that he needs to compensate her for the work. So he's paying the men in cash and paying her in gifts. He'd give her so many designer bracelets for the FOs, following the beatings, that she felt she was shackled by, girl, not shackled by his presence. Oh, so we not finna look. Again, he's a bad person. Bad person. 2015 example, in the middle of a surprise party dinner for her 29th birthday. Again, this is 10 years later. They met when she was 19, so for her 29th birthday, he insisted that she leave the party and go to a hotel for an FO. When she expressed that she did not want to go, he had Miss Ventura cornered by security staff in order to force her to leave with him. After this FO, Combs and her went back to the hotel room for her, where she was staying. Her friends were there. He was drunk. He picked up one of her friends like a child and dangled the friend, over the balcony of a 17th floor hotel. And she was scared because he was crazy. And she was high. Child, well, at least that means she didn't die. Anytime she tried to create distance between her and Combs, he used his network to find her and convince her to return to his abuse. On multiple occasions, Combs sent his employees to lure her back. In 2011, during a rough patch, Combs and Ventura relationship, she dated Kid Cudi. That's the car that he allegedly blew up. I'm trying to, it's so much. During the FO, Combs found Miss Ventura's phone and found email between her and Kid Cudi. Combs became enraged, proceeded to place a manual place a manual corkscrew between the fingers and not a corkscrew. He gonna Jesus, not a corkscrew between the fingers. She ran away at Kid Cudi's home to escape Mr. Combs' wrath. Soon thereafter, one of Combs' staff members told her, "Hey," she talked to him. Okay. So when she got escape him and the network, she returned to Combs. He hit her several times and then kicked her in the back as she ran. Not in the back. Girl, Diddy is. If what she's saying is true, Diddy is insane. Diddy is insane. Period. She went to her parents' house in Connecticut where her mother took pictures of the bruises Mr. Combs had left on her body. So at least we know there are proof of some bruises from back in the day. Okay. In 2012, Paris Fashion Week, Combs told her, "Hey, I was going to blow up your man's car. I was going to blow up Kid Cudi's car, and I wanted to ensure Kid Cudi was home." What? Now you want much? In February 2012, he told her he was going to blow up Kid Cudi's car, and he wanted to ensure that Kid Cudi was home with his friend when it happened. And around that time, Kid Cudi's car exploded in his driveway. She was terrified because he's crazy. In 2015, she spoke to a popular music manager at the party in hotel suite. Combs started speaking to the manager and sternly told her to step into the bedroom adjoining the suites. In the bedroom, Combs beat her up severely. She ran from corner to corner of the room, trying to avoid him beating and kicking. She tried to lock herself in the bathroom. He pushed through the door, punched and kicked her while she crawled in the toilet. When the security came and saw her, they cried because she all beat up. And then he forced her to stay at his house to heal, along with one of his sons. While there, Combs FaceTime Miss Ventura and said, "You gotta go up and put more makeup on. My sons can't see like that." Y'all, this is so insane. Like, I just want it's so insane. In 2016, at the hotel, again, he got drunk and punched her in the face, gave her a black eye. After he fell asleep, she tried to leave, but she exited. Combs awoke, began screaming at her. He followed her to the hallway of the hotel while yelling at her. He grabbed at her, then took a glass of vase in the hall and threw it at her. Cursing at her, he managed to get her in the elevator, and when she got to the lobby, quickly took a cab to her apartment upon realizing that her running away would cause the Combs to be even angrier with her and completely struck in his vicious cycle of abuse. She came back with the intention of apologizing and running away from her abuser. When she returned, hotel security staff urged her to get back in the cab and go to the apartment, suggesting that they had seen the security footage showing Mr. Combs beating her and throwing glass at her. Girl, that's what friends said. Her friends said they saw. Again, the story in LA. My friend told me about it when it happened and said public security took people's phones and everything. So she ain't lying. Bottom line, because look, I feel like, let me get back on screen. Because I feel like what she's already said is proof enough. Because, like, the person I sent this story to, who then texted me, Look, y'all can't see it. Literally text me back. Y'all can't see my phone. But text me back and told us, like, yeah, damn, I can't believe my friend told me about that story and now it's in this damn thing. Because it happened. Meaning, because it's one thing for someone to just say that, oh, I think, Diddy maybe did a little something. This is detailed stuff. Years of stuff. And when people say stuff like, why not just leave? You see when she left, what happened? When she kept leaving, he kept dragging her back in because his reach is so far. Look, Ms. B, I'm skipping over things because it's 35 pages. And the simple fact that they're talking about an incident that happened at a hotel with cameras, and they're like, hey, people gonna find out. People gonna find out. Think about this. We would have never known about Solange trying to kick Jay-Z in the elevator if it was not for the cameras. And child, who didn't Jay-Z and them pay? Jay-Z and Beyonce did not pay somebody. But I'm just saying, this is insane, y'all. This is insane that it's just so much that she is just saying what happened. She's giving just, points of references of all the times that he was around here being crazy. It said each time Miss Ventura tried to run away, Mr. Combs and his powerful network would force her back to him. Mr. Combs' tight hold of her life had irreparably damaged her friendships. Around 2018, when Ms. Ventura was with her friend Carrie Morgan in her house, Mr. Combs used his key to Ms. Ventura's house and came in unannounced. He and Ms. Morgan had an altercation, during which Mr. Combs threw a hanger at Ms. Morgan, who is Cassie's friend. Upon information and belief, the incident resulted in settlement between Combs and Ms. Morgan. Ms. Ventura ended up paying Ms. Morgan additional funds in an attempt to resolve the dispute between her close friend and her abusive and controlling boyfriend. The relationship between Ms. Ventura and Ms. Morgan has been strained since this time. And that's crazy. You came to my friend's house unannounced. Me and you have some kind of altercation. You throw something at me. And upon information and belief, the incident results in a settlement between Mr. Combs and Ms. Morgan. Cassie still paid her friend more money to hopefully resolve the dispute. Now, it discusses her. You see what it say. She became desperate to leave. If she stayed, she would not have no good career or be mentally or physically safe again. She became determined to completely break away from him and his cycle of abuse and make concerted efforts to avoid him. In 2018, she joined Mr. Combs for dinner at an Italian restaurant in Malibu, California, for what she believed would be a discussion about concluding their relationship for good. We can talk about ending this shit for good. And he went back at her apartment. She said no. She said no. She said no, and he did not listen. It says soon after she took steps to completely separate herself from her long-time abuser, including by leaving the home that he paid for and returning the car he purchased for her. Despite moving away, her address was posted online in 2019, leading to fear for her safety. Ms. Ventura, who was under immense duress during the months after Mr. Combs forced himself on her, took all that's possible to entirely remove herself from her abuser's ambit, including by entering the context in her record deal with Bad Boy. Mm, mm, mm. Mm, mm, mm. She had, again, physical and mental trauma. It said the birth of her two children, however, allowed her to allow her a new lease on life and gave her purpose. She credits her children with saving her from the trauma that had consumed over a decade of her life. Except for the month when she was pregnant with the children, Miss Ventura struggled with her addiction to drugs and alcohol, addiction that were established and fueled by him. That man ruined the life. Although Miss Ventura was unable to speak up against the years of abuse she endured at the hands of Mr. Combs, she has since been able to rebuild her life and confront her trauma thanks to the passing of New York's Adult Survivors Act and California's Sexual Abuse Accountability and Cover-Up Act. She is now ready and able to also confront her abuser and to hold him and those who enabled him accountable for their actions. Oh, Jesus. Y'all. I was like, I have to read this to them. I could not take notes on that. I was like, no, we have to read it together to see what it say, because so many folks said why she wants to say something now. Because now she feels strong enough to do it. And come on, I'm like, right, what's gonna happen tomorrow, y'all? What's gonna happen tomorrow? Now, because her lawsuit is a federal lawsuit, and because this federal lawsuit is up here, and she wants to sue him, hold him accountable, I feel like that's what we have to let happen. We have to allow the courts to handle, even though it's a civil thing. You know what I'm saying? That's fine. But we have to allow her to handle her trauma how she wants to handle her trauma in courts. But I'm still like, now again, we have to say Diddy and his team and his people have denied the stuff. But this is the thing: you can deny the headline. Let me pop it on, okay? Because you can deny or want to deny the headline that says, Cassie suing Diddy for this amount of money for this reason or that reason or whatever. You can say, okay, man, I ain't do that. This is a shakedown. This is a shakedown. At one point, I saw a story somewhere that said that Diddy had offered maybe a 8-figure deal, or no, an 8-figure amount of money to Cassie to not file the lawsuit. Okay. Allegedly. I can't remember which blog I saw it on, but as I'm looking, as we on live, honey, the fact that this just popped up, okay, and this is per the Shade Room. Said Diddy reportedly the subject of a secret NYPD criminal investigation allegedly involving assault. It says, according to TMZ, Diddy is reportedly the subject of a secret NYPD investigation that allegedly involves assault. Sources in law enforcement tell the outlet that there is an open and active case with the name Sean Combs. However, the case file has been locked. No word on who the criminal complaint was made by. I just I don't know what to do. Now, Kid Cudi confirmed that the story that a car of his blew up in his driveway after he was allegedly threatened by Diddy for a car to blow up. And oh Jesus, like what's next? What's next? Who's next? How can anything be next? I just don't even understand what else. What else? What else? Child, that's it. That's all we child salon. What's up? That's all I have for y'all today. This stuff we'll discuss tomorrow at 9 p.m. Child, because I can't even say I may not be live tomorrow. Every time I say that, I have to go live. So maybe if I say I will be live tomorrow, y'all, that I was because something gonna happen. Maybe then won't. I don't know. But there are other things that we can discuss tomorrow. Because as I'm sure, more stuff is gonna come out. More stuff is going to come out. Because even as we're just here talking, it's more and more and more and more and more. And if because she has this lawsuit, if it's true that in whatever conversation with Diddy or Diddy's team that they allegedly offered her a 8-figure deal, and 8 figures means 10 mil. Okay, it means 10 mil. So if it's true that he had allegedly offered 10 mil for her to not go to the press, go to the courts, leave me be, and she said no. Child, I'm tired. I was tired, boss. Because this was not on my bingo card. This was not on my bingo card. This is also true. I feel like Diddy is a huge entity. Diddy ain't no regular dude. He's a huge entity. And to have these kind of accusations against somebody who's a huge entity, there has to be some kind of hardcore proof of something. There has to be hardcore proof of something. I got it from Megan the Reporter's Twitter. Megan the Reporter posts a lot of stuff, so that's where I got it from. So that's Megan the Reporter is always posting stuff. Okay. Y'all, that's it. Please make sure that y'all have already liked the video, comments in the comment section, share the video, subscribe, follow me on social media at JayLeesCorner on IG, Twitter, and TikTok. I am about to go relax, and release. And I will gladly talk to y'all tomorrow. Look, if you don't know nothing else, I want y'all to know that there is no right or wrong way for a victim to finally feel free enough, strong enough, safe enough to tell their story. So before all the why she wait this long and why she stay all that time, I mean, we be young and dumb. And he got her when she was really, look, I did some foolish. I started smoking cigarettes because I liked the boy at 17. So we have to remember, she was 19, he was 37. At 19 years old, even if it's an older man, if he's rich and it's a lifestyle that you think you want, young and dumb. But luckily, she's alive to tell her story. And if her allegations against him is true, you know, he need to go where he need to go. Now, I love y'all. Okay? Have a good night. Okay? I'll talk to y'all tomorrow. Because even though ain't nothing else going on, it's a whole bunch of other stuff going on right here. I'm just tired. And we'll talk to y'all tomorrow. Y'all be safe. Gotta go.